Urgent. Sarah Chen reported what she saw on radar to her commander. Sir, unknown object approaching at Mach 7. The commander laughed. Impossible. 3 hours later, all base personnel couldn't even remember Sarah's name. When the clock struck 2300 at Groom Lake Military Base deep in the Nevada desert, Sergeant Sarah Chen was beginning her routine night shift. The 24-year-old young woman had been serving as a radar operator for 5 years and thought this night would pass quietly like the others. Sitting alone in the radar control center, Sarah was monitoring the 6-monitor system in front of her. Each screen showed a different sector: north, south, east, west, high altitude and low altitude scans. According to routine procedure, she had to report every 15 minutes. Control center, this is radar desk 1, Sarah said into her microphone. 2315 report. All sectors clear, no activity. The voice from her headset was monotone. Roger, desk 1, continue. Sarah took a sip of her coffee and focused on the screens again. The biggest challenge during such night shifts was watching screens where nothing happened for hours. Most operators would eventually become distracted and lose attention. But Sarah was different. She was obsessed with details. At 2347, a small dot appeared on the eastern sector screen. Sarah first rubbed her eyes. Maybe she was hallucinating from fatigue, but the dot was still there. She checked the coordinates, approximately 200 miles east at 35,000 feet altitude. Strange, Sarah murmured. There's no flight plan on this route. She immediately entered the computer and checked the aviation traffic control system. Indeed, there was no civilian or military flight plan in that area at that time. The dot remained stationary on the map. Sarah applied protocol and called the control center. Control, this is desk 1. Unidentified aircraft in eastern sector. Coordinates 37.2 north, 115.8 west. Roger, desk 1, we're receiving the information. Any IFF signal? Sarah checked the IFF, identify friend or foe system. Negative, no IFF signal. I'm not receiving military or civilian identification codes. Copy. Keep under observation. Report any developments. Sarah continued watching without taking her eyes off the screen. For 5 minutes, the dot didn't move at all. Then, suddenly, it began to move. Sarah's eyes widened. The dot was moving rapidly across the screen, but this wasn't normal movement. She activated the speed calculator and gasped when she saw the numbers. This is impossible, she whispered. The object was moving at Mach 3, then Mach 4. Mach 5, Mach 6. Sarah's hands were trembling. Even the fastest military aircraft couldn't sustain speeds above Mach 3 continuously. But this object was constantly accelerating. Mach 7. Control! Control! This is desk 1. Urgent! What is it, desk 1? Sir, the unknown object in the eastern sector is moving west at Mach 7. The voice from the headset expressed surprise. Desk 1, repeat the information you gave. Sir, the object is currently approaching at Mach 7. Estimated arrival time, 23 minutes. Desk 1, check your equipment. Mach 7 speed is impossible. Sarah was getting angry. Sir, my equipment is working perfectly. The object is real and coming toward us. Desk 1, don't leave your position. I'm reporting to higher command. 5 minutes later, Colonel Marcus Webb came running to the control center. The 48-year-old experienced commander had been working in aviation for 25 years and had never encountered such a situation. Chen, he shouted upon entering the base. What's the situation? Sarah jumped to her feet. Sir, unknown aircraft currently 95 miles east, approaching at Mach 7. Estimated arrival time 12 minutes. Colonel Webb looked at the screens. Indeed, a bright dot was visible. This must be a malfunction. Nothing can fly at Mach 7. Sir, I've checked with 3 different radar systems. They all show the same data. Webb frowned. Recalculate your speed calculation. Sarah worked quickly on the computer. She calculated the object's positions over the last 5 minutes. The result was the same. Sir, the object covered 37 miles in the last 5 minutes. That means 1.3 miles per second, Mach 7.2. Colonel Webb thought silently. Then he made his decision. Fire alarm status. Alert all personnel. Take defensive position against unknown aircraft. Alarm sounds began ringing throughout the base. Red lights were flashing. Personnel were running to their emergency positions. Sarah wasn't taking her eyes off the radar screen. The object was still approaching. Now it was 40 miles away. "Sir, the object is slowing down," Sarah said. Indeed, the speed indicator was dropping. Mach 5, Mach 3, Mach 1. "Its altitude is also dropping," Sarah added. 30,000 feet, 20,000 feet, 10,000 feet. Colonel Webb was coordinating other units via radio. "All units, unknown aircraft at 15 miles, expecting visual contact." Sarah suddenly stopped. "Sir, the object has stopped." "What do you mean, stopped?" "Literally stopped, motionless at 5,000 feet altitude, 8 miles northeast." Webb took binoculars and went outside. Sarah followed him. The night sky was filled with stars, but a bright light was visible in the northeast direction. "What is that?" Webb asked. Sarah looked through the binoculars. What she saw shocked her. When Sarah looked through the binoculars, what she saw didn't resemble any known aircraft. A metallic, disc-shaped object emitting blue-white lights from its underside. It was hanging silently in the air. "Sir, this doesn't resemble any known aircraft type," Sarah said. Webb took the binoculars and looked. His facial expression changed. His 25 years of experience had never seen such a thing. What is this?" he murmured. At that moment, radio communication came. "Commander, reporting from F-22 Squadron. We see the target, but our radars show nothing." "What do you mean, showing nothing?" Webb asked. "Sir, visually it's there, but it's not on our radar, like a ghost." Sarah looked at her own radar screen. Indeed, the object was no longer visible on screen, but it was clearly visible in the sky. "Sir, it's disappeared from our radar too," Sarah said. Webb was in disbelief. "How is this possible? We have visual contact but no radar?" Suddenly, the object began to move, but this time in a different way. It was making zigzag movements, as if defying the laws of physics. The object slowly began approaching the base. It made no sound, no engine sound, propeller sound, nothing. "All units, prepare to fire," Webb ordered. "Sir, should we open fire?" Sarah asked. "It hasn't made any hostile moves yet. We'll wait." The object stopped 2 miles north of the base. It remained motionless for about 10 minutes. Sarah and all personnel were watching it. Then, something unexpected happened. The object began emitting a bright light. The blue-white light gradually intensified, and suddenly, all electronic systems stopped. Radar screens went black, radios went silent, emergency lights went out. The entire base lost power. "What's happening?" Webb shouted in the darkness. "Sir, all systems down," someone said from the darkness. Emergency generators kicked in and a few basic lights came on. But radar, radio, computers, none of them were working. Sarah was left alone in the dark radar room. She could hear the commander shouting outside but couldn't respond. And at that moment, she saw that light through the room's window. The blue-white light was approaching her window. It was getting brighter and brighter. Sarah was frozen. She couldn't move, couldn't scream. The light completely filled the room. And then, silence. When Sarah opened her eyes, she was sitting at the radar screens. The clock showed 06:30. Daylight was filtering through the windows. "What?" she murmured. The last thing she remembered was the night shift. At 23:47, she had seen a dot in the eastern sector. Then, nothing. She stood up and looked around. Everything was normal. Radar screens were working. Computers were normal. Nothing had changed. She called the control center. "Control, this is Desk 1, status report." "Desk 1, who are you?" Sarah was surprised. "I'm Sergeant Sarah Chen, radar operator." "No Sergeant Chen in our records. Who did you say you were again?" Sarah's blood ran cold. I've been working here for 5 years. Radar operator Sarah Chen." "Security, unidentified personnel at radar desk 1. 2 security guards took Sarah into custody. She was brought to the command office, but Colonel Webb didn't recognize her at all. "Who are you?" Webb asked. "Sir, I'm Sergeant Sarah Chen. Last night we watched the unknown aircraft together. It was coming at Mach 7. Do you remember?" There was no recognition expression on Webb's face. "Nothing happened last night. Who are you claiming to be?" Sarah took out her ID from her bag. Webb looked but was confused. This ID must be fake. No one named Sergeant Chen works at this base. Sir, check the computer records. I have 5 years of service record. Webb looked at his computer. There's no record of anyone named Sarah Chen. You don't work here. Sarah's world was collapsing. But I live here. I have a room. I have friends. Security. Escort this woman off the base and don't let her come back. Sarah found herself outside the base gate. She only had her bag with her. She couldn't understand anything. She took out her cell phone and tried to call her mother. The phone rang. Hello? Mom, it's Sarah. Sarah who? Wrong number, I think. Mom, I'm your daughter Sarah, Sarah Chen. I don't know any Sarah. You called the wrong number. Sarah hung up the phone. Her hands were trembling. She called her friend Jennifer. Hello, Jennifer, it's Sarah. Sarah who? The same answer. As if she had never existed in the world. She went to her hotel. The receptionist didn't recognize her. We have no reservation for Sarah Chen, he said. Sarah took out her room key. Room 237. I've been staying for 5 months. That room is empty, sir. No one is staying there. Sarah sat in a small cafe in town and tried to analyze the situation. She had an ID, but nobody recognized her, as if she had been erased from memories. At that moment, she remembered the notebook in her pocket. She always took notes of special observations. She opened the notebook, and what she saw shocked her. On the last page, in her own handwriting, were these notes? 2347, unknown object in eastern sector 2352, Mach 7 speed, 0015, visual contact, 0023, systems down. 25, blue light, memory erased. At the bottom was also this sentence, if you're reading this note, it really happened, but everyone forgot. You didn't forget. Sarah's breath caught. The writing in the notebook was definitely her own handwriting, so it really had happened. Sarah went to an internet cafe and researched news about that night. She couldn't find any news. There were no military reports either. But she found an interesting post on UFO forums. My friend who works night shift in Nevada called me yesterday. He was saying very strange things. He saw a UFO coming at Mach 7 on radar. But when I called him today, he asked who I was, as if he never knew me. Sarah got excited. Other people had experienced similar things. She replied to the forum post, I experienced the same thing. Where are you? The reply came, Phoenix, Arizona. You? Nevada. Let's meet here. My name is Mike Rodriguez. 2 days later, Sarah went to Phoenix. She met with Mike Rodriguez. Mike also worked in aviation and had experienced a similar experience. I also saw an unknown object on radar that night, Mike said. But the next day, nobody recognized me. I was fired from my job. This can't be a coincidence, Sarah said. Who else is there? Mike had communicated with other forum users. 12 different people had experienced similar experiences that same night in different places. We're all military or aviation personnel, Mike said, and we all saw UFOs that night. So what are we going to do? Let's gather evidence. This is real and people need to know. Sarah and Mike formed a team. The 12-person group called themselves Lost Memories. They had all seen UFOs that night and had their memories erased. When they came together, they discovered something surprising. Everyone's experience was connected. The UFO had visited different military bases the same night. This was a coordinated operation, Sarah said. Not just UFO, they also used memory erasing technology. But why do we remember? Mike asked. Sarah showed her notebook. Because we took notes. They erased our memories but couldn't find the written evidence. The group did more research. They found secret files over the internet, documents indicating the government had knowledge about UFOs. 6 months later, the Lost Memories group established a secret website. They documented their UFO experiences and memory erasing technology. Sarah now lived under a different name, in a different city, but she hadn't forgotten the truth. Every night she looked at the sky and knew that there among the stars were truths that humanity had yet to learn. But the most important truth was this. What she saw on the radar screen that night was real. The object coming at Mach 7, the blue light, memory erasing, it was all real. And one day, everyone would remember. Because truth could never be completely erased. It was only hidden. And Sarah Chen, Sergeant Sarah Chen, was the guardian of truth.